It says we are live, and I'm excited to be live. Guys, I've got Casey with me from Cassie rather, from Cassie's Critters.
Hi,
And
guys.
Cassie Dowd, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Some of you guys know Cassie, and some of you don't. She's not been real active on YouTube lately, but she burns up Instagram every day. So hopefully we'll get her. Hey, Tiffany White. Hopefully we'll get her. And there's Susie Q. Hopefully we'll get her link to Instagram up there. But I know what it is. If we don't, I can tell one of the mods. And yeah, so she agreed to come on. I kind of asked her on a whim, expecting her to say no, but she did. So guys, if you don't ask, you don't get. A little bit of personal information she gave me about her is that she lives in upstate New York. She's 24 years old, and she currently is downsizing her hobbies, her pet hobbies, which we're going to talk about mostly tonight, to focus on her Etsy business. And like Susie Q was telling us in her stream just before this, um, Cassie has a really nice Etsy business, and in fact, I have wood on the way from there. So I'm excited about that. Great prices on her stuff, so we definitely want to promote that and benefit from it. And the last thing I'm going to tell you that I know about her right now is that she is the manager of a pet department. Wouldn't we all love to do that? Sometimes I'm sure we would, at least.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. In a store called Country Max Store. So I'm going to let her talk to us and ask her some questions, occasionally interrupt her. I am still having some audio trouble. Right now I'm not. So you'll know, of course, because I'll complain about it. And I know, fingers crossed, toes crossed. Yazi's got his paws crossed over there. So, hey, Bryce, there's gnarly fish tanks. So we'll get started. And I just wanted her to talk a little bit about what pets she has now and go from there.
Okay,
Cassie?
so I have been downsizing my fish tanks. A lot of my YouTube videos that I have previously posted, it's a lot of fish tanks, but I think I had 7 at one point. So as they've naturally passed, I just haven't replaced them and tore stuff down. And so I've got my 2 house rabbits and my 2 ferrets, and I have a Antilles pink toe tarantula and a ghost mantis, and then cats and dogs and chickens and all that fun stuff. But these are my guys. So
You said you downsizing just through attrition as you lose fish or they are gone. Never miss an opportunity, guys. You got any tanks you're trying to get out of there, trying to get rid of? No, I'm teasing. I have way too many tanks already.
I posted them all to the local aquarium group, so
good.
they're all in good hands with other hobbyists.
Good.
All my plants and stuff, and yeah, I've got 1 tank left, and it's just plants. So I did really enjoy it, but it just became a lot for me to deal with after working all day with fish and animals and stuff, and then coming back home and having to worry about water changes and everything. And
yeah, somebody else was talking about that. Just in a stream in the last couple of days, they were saying they got paid to do water changes, so when they come home and didn't get paid to do it, it was a little different. Can't remember who that was, but that's a good.
It wasn't as worth it, you know.
Right. Well, some of the videos that you have posted, though, and maybe I'm thinking of Instagram, though, but on YouTube, do you have any of your ferrets and your rabbits on YouTube?
I have a ferret bath time video on
I remember
YouTube.
that. I love that one.
When I filmed me giving them their bath, which they don't necessarily enjoy. So I think that's most of what I have for the ferrets. And then the rabbits, my one girl mama was a rescue, and she came to me pregnant and also with other babies. So I had to get them all raised up and then rehomed and
I
all that.
remember
And
that. Yeah.
yep, and then I got her spayed, and now she lives in the lap of luxury, I should say. She's spoiled rotten.
Thinking about Instagram now, I'm looking to see. There's so many people coming in here. Wow, you're a big draw, Cassie. I need to
Hi,
have you on
guys.
as a co-host. Wow.
I'd be happy to.
What you doing next Sunday night? Look at
I'll
all
be
these
here
people.
if you need me. I'm here.
Look at all these people. There's Brandon from Maple Street. He's a little bit like you. I don't know if you know Brandon and Nessa, but they've kind of been away from YouTube for a while now.
Yeah.
And they've just started coming back and live streaming, and they keep cold water fish.
Oh, cool.
So a little different. So I had them on Wednesday, I think. Yeah. And been following their live streams. But yeah, has anybody posted your Instagram? Did Bob get a haircut? I did. I was wondering how long it was going to take you guys to notice that. I look like the goat man till 2 days ago. I had to put a cap on because I overslept to go get my old people's lab drawn the other day. And the hair was sticking all out from under it. And I'm like, oh my God, if my mother, she's still alive, my mother could see this. So I went right after the blood draw and got it cut off. It feels so much better. But yeah, Cassie's link is the number 6 and then 7 spelled SEVYN and then the number 8. So that's all her Instagram is.
I post a lot on Instagram.
Yeah, if you guys want to see some of her stuff, I mean, every day, she's consistent. I usually have my coffee when I start looking for her stuff in the morning. That's what I'm looking at. But every day, and
it's a lot of the cool stuff I have at work is there.
Yep.
All of the, the millipedes and the lizards and the snakes and stuff like that, and all the new fish that I get. I still do it. It's just not at home, but I post all that stuff on my Instagram. Yeah,
she does, and they have some really oddball. Being the manager, I guess you can order what you want within reason there. So as long as it's on the list,
for the most part.
And she does, and also some pretty cool fish. And Elizabeth, One Fish, Two Fish, ROC, is friends with Cassie. Susie Q's met her, and her and Elizabeth actually went there to the store. Susie talked about that in the last video. So that's who this Cassie is. So you saw those videos. Elizabeth talks about you being her fish enabler.
if it comes up, if it comes on the list and Liz wants it, I just ask her how many.
Yeah.
And I do her bidding.
Yeah. I love Liz. She's got a cool channel. Love her channel.
She's awesome.
Says we're buffering, Brienne. Is anybody else having buffering? I usually have the sound, which we don't yet. Hey, Nola Jane. You got this, it says. All right. Hey, Bob and everyone. Mary Paige Flynn. Wow. Mary Paige is the queen of YouTube, so I'm telling you, just people we never see. We got 40-something people watching us. So.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
I know.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Bob, you can't be nervous.
It never gets any better. Never gets any better. There's Jeffrey Watts, Sandy Dowdy. Several of our members are here. Don't forget to hit the like, please, and thank you. And that's Maria, and it's capitalized, so I would do what she says. She's making soup, so guys better get with it. I don't know that your link got posted, but I'm sure they're going to work on it. If it did or didn't, it's real hard for me to see.
I typed it out. Well, not the link, but I typed out what my user is so that
awesome.
If people wanted to, it's not a big deal. I don't always post animals, so
right.
But no big
pretty
deal.
Much what you post is cool, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about it. But one of the things she does post, and I don't have rabbits or ferrets yet. I do have cats and dogs. You guys know I got a zoo here. But some of the stuff she does that's organic, some of the little baskets and gifts you can get for your rabbits and stuff are just awesome. But if you don't mind, I know I didn't tell you we would talk about that, and we're deviating from our agenda.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. But do you mind talking a little bit about some of that stuff on there? Because I
Yeah,
know a lot of
absolutely.
people here do
Um,
have those pets.
yeah. So I work in a pet store, and it can be kind of disappointing to see the selection of healthy stuff. It's not all great, especially for small animals, rabbits and guinea pigs and stuff like that. It's a lot of seeds and sugars and stuff that isn't super healthy for them in their digestive tract. So I decided, after a long, long while of thinking, that I would start an Etsy and make healthy treats and toys, mostly for rabbits and guinea pigs and chinchillas. But I do also have aquarium botanicals on there, like the cholla wood, alder cones, and oak leaves and oak caps, and that sort of thing. And also treats and toys that are suitable for birds. A lot of the time, people that keep birds anyway, they don't like purchasing toys or products that are made in a home that has birds in it, because they can catch a lot of diseases and stuff like that. So I live in a bird-free home, so it's all completely safe, and I use as natural products as I can get. I order as fair trade as I can get when it comes to herbs and stuff like that. So I try and do really as healthy as I can with the budget that I have so far. So, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It gives me something to do after working all day. I get to come home and work some more, but it's actually on something that I really enjoy doing. So,
Um, Two questions
mhm.
so far that I can think of just about that Etsy is I don't know what fair trade means. And also remind me to ask you after you tell me that about the bird toys, the bird treats again. What is fair trade?
So fair trade means that it's obtained fairly from, say, so I order a lot of herbs, for herbal mixes and stuff like that that you top hay with or whatever for rabbits. Um, and that just means that it is obtained in a fair way, and that the people that are harvesting or growing it are compensated fairly. So it's not, people that are laboring and doing all this and they're not getting enough.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's what that means. It's also human food grade and organic, USDA certified organic stuff. So for the most part,
Okay.
depending on the product, but yep.
Okay.
And then what was the other question?
I saw that so you're supposed to remind me. I remember
I
so
know,
far.
what the heck?
You're just trying to make me feel better. I saw Skipper got your Instagram
Thank
posted on
you.
there, the actual link. Somebody else may have, but from what I'm seeing, he did. And then also, Geek Boy is asking for your Etsy link. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I will try and type that out here with my one hand.
The other question about the cats was I just ordered some wood from some of the cholla wood from Cassie, and I had told a couple of friends about it because I saw her mention it again on Instagram and saw it, and it's $2.50 a piece.
Mhm.
So it's four for $10 actually. You get four for $10.
Yep.
So I was all over that with all 4 feet, and I sent it to Maria and a couple other people. That wow, look at this that keep fish. But I didn't see the bird stuff on there, and I told my birds, I do talk to the birds too. I told them I have 4 parakeets and they're rotten.
Oh,
I told them this morning that I needed to get them some treats, and I'm always looking in the store for food treats, and they have enough of that kind of stuff,
wow.
but they don't have enough stuff to do like enrichment
Like an
stuff.
activity and foraging. Right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Two of
So
them are real curious, and two of them are not. So
right. Right. I did just release a product. I think it is recent. It's a little bowl actually that has some different stars tied onto it and stuff, so that they can
I saw
forage and
that.
pull at it. Yep. And then I fill it with organic chamomile and stuff like that. So they have to actually work for the reward, which is actually a very healthy treat that can
Right.
keep them calm. I would probably recommend it for larger birds than parakeets, but it wouldn't do any harm to them or anything. It's just a little bit on the bigger side, that's all.
Right.
But I do have other plans for other products that hopefully will be more centered around smaller birds. I know a lot of people have parakeets and stuff like that, and finches and that sort of thing. So I do have plans. It's just when I actually get to them.
I was telling Cassie how I can't see, and she'll see me looking like that before. So that time, yeah, I'd be giving her nasal tours. So that time, I thought
I'll do them too. You're not
alone. Do them too.
I'll do them.
Guys, it's a double treat. They're like, oh my god, I made a joke.
Enjoy.
I was looking to see what somebody said about the birds. So, but it was not. It was a joke kind of thing. Well, I saw that on there, and I didn't see it. So please put me one aside. Well, in fact, you've got my address. I'll go ahead and put my order in for that because I didn't know what that was. For some reason, old people, But anyway, I didn't realize what it was. I would have gotten it when I got the other thing. So
yeah, the herbal forage mix that I sell is perfectly safe for all birds as well. So that's perfectly safe to do as a topper, or you can hide it around and they'll forage for it. So.
Yeah, they need something because they just pretty much sit there. When food comes, they're like, all right, here comes chow. But yeah, I'll do that because they definitely need something to do other than me trying to hold them and stuff.
Yeah.
Does your website, when you order something like the basket and then you said the mix, will it recommend other things, or people that bought this sometimes buy this too, or does
I believe so. It's
okay.
not like the same format as Amazon, but I believe it says other things from this shop, and it'll have other options.
Well, I'm writing things down. That's what I'm looking down at, so I can remember. I'm gonna get back on there. Okay, cool. Let's see. Maria Z.
Oh, thank you, Skipper, for posting the link. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Rico stands here, so we'll have some trouble now. Cool. All right, let me go back to our agenda. We really got off that, but
we deviated a bit. That's okay. It's all right.
It's all right, yeah.
I tend to ramble, so.
Oh, you're in the right place. We were going to talk a little bit about the creepy crawlies, and I think you had one to show us, but also like the aspect of how people tend to be afraid of them or not to understand them and that kind of stuff, because I know you try to do a lot of education about that. So.
Yeah, definitely. Working in a pet store, I get a lot of families that have young kids, and they want something that is low maintenance, and they don't have to clean it, and they don't have to feed it, and all this stuff that's basically impossible. But they technically want a low maintenance pet that they can interact with. And if I suggest, Madagascar hissing cockroaches, all of a sudden I'm the weirdo. But they truly don't take a lot of space. Most of them are harmless. They won't bite or anything like that. Roaches especially are very calm. The hissers will just sort of hiss at you, which can be startling for young kids, but it's not, it's not gonna hurt them. Millipedes and stuff like that. If you wanted to get, weirder, you could do mantises, tarantulas, that sort of thing. There's just so many options, and I feel like a lot of people discredit them because of what they are. They're invertebrates, they're bugs, they're arachnids, that sort of thing. And if you truly want a low maintenance pet, insects are the way to go, really. I would feel more comfortable with a younger kid holding a large hissing cockroach than some of the hamsters that we have. I mean, they would definitely do a lot less damage, that's for sure, if you get them on the wrong day, Yeah, exactly, John. It sounds like they want a pet rock is basically what it is. They want something that they don't have to take care of, but
they have said get a cat, but I don't know about that because mine can get pretty demanding sometimes.
Oh yeah, yes, Yep, you are a servant to a cat, basically. Rabbits are the same way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, 100%. They're very close to cats in terms of attitude. But, you know, I feel like insects, they don't need a lot of space. So you don't have to worry about a large a large footprint, you know, that is being taken up. Most of them tolerate a decent amount of temperatures, so you don't have to worry about that as much. A lot of them don't need too much in terms of food, in terms of, you know, how we were talking about enrichment and foraging activities that like parakeets and other mammals need. Insects really are the way to go, in my opinion. And they do have a lot of personality. Mantises especially, I feel like, are very personable. If you go and watch my old YouTube videos, I had a spiny flower mantis named June. And she was my baby. I would put her on my shirt and people would think that she was a pin or a brooch or whatever. She would just
I
kind of
remember her. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, she was the most amazing, one of the most amazing animals I've ever had. And I had her for, like we were talking about earlier, less than 6 months after, you know, she reached maturity. But, you know, that amount of time was still enough to be like, wow, this is a bug. But it's just, it can be really amazing. And I wish that more people would give them a chance besides, you know, being creeped out.
I had an offer from, I forget his name, and I think he's in Arizona or Colorado, but he keeps reptiles and fish. And he had told me to get with him on his Facebook. If I could remember his name now, I would. I see him all the time in chats, but he was going to send me some roaches. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me get it so that you're the only one on there. If I can do it without.
Probably can't see her very well.
Oh, cool. It looks like a leaf from this angle.
Yep. So this is a ghost mantis. I think I posted some about these guys on a couple of my videos. It's not going to focus very well, of course, but...
There you go. Perfect. You know, the legs on that remind me of the, we call them katydids, but I think they're cicadas.
Oh, yeah.
How cute. Now, where is this? Tell us some more about it, or me some more. If nobody cares, I do. Where are these guys from, and how long do they live?
And typically, once they reach maturity, you're looking at, like we said, about 6 months or so after they reach their final molt. They'll molt when they get larger, similar to like shrimp or crabs. So they go through different molts. This one probably has, I believe, 2 or 3 left before maturity, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I'll have about 6 months or so left with it, and then it'll pass. They don't live a very long life, but like I said, they have a ton of personality. They're very, very cool. And the thing about ghost mantises that is interesting is that they are actually one of the few communal species. So as long as you give them enough space and enough food, obviously, they will not cannibalize each other, which mantises are known for. So ghost mantis you can typically keep together. I actually had a 12 by 12 terrarium with 3 adult males in it, and they did very well until their last days with me. But yeah, there are so many different kinds of mantises and a lot of great breeders out there. I was able to get these guys from a guy in Connecticut. His name is Kelly. KF Invertebrates is where I get them from. But I got I've kept orchids before, and obviously June, my spiny flower, and they're all fantastic. You can't go wrong with them. They don't need a large setup. This is what this guy is in. Obviously, it has a lid, but substrate and stuff to climb on, and you mist them down, keep them fairly warm, and feed them, and they're good to go. So,
Well, how do so you have to have a male and a female for them to have
to do the
offspring?
deed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the crayfish that you only have to have
The
one.
self-cloners, yeah.
Self-cloners, yeah.
Yeah, no, with these guys, yeah, you have to very carefully, in captivity, they are prone to the female eating the male, as I'm sure all of you know. But as long as you basically just have to keep shoveling food into the female's face to keep her distracted until the male can do his thing and retreats. So yeah, they can be a little bit difficult to breed, but it's definitely very cool. I never was able to do it with mine. Orchid mantises, I did have a male and female confirmed, but my female died in her last molt, which molting is the riskiest part with any sort of invertebrate, really, in their life, from aquatic inverts like shrimp to roaches and mantises and stuff like that. So but a lot of people are able to successfully breed them in captivity, and it's really cool to watch their life cycle. Hi Dee. Hi Crystal. Hi everybody.
You there? Hey everybody. Sorry I'm ignoring you guys because I can't do two things at once. It might not be a bad idea to look at the chat a little more myself.
Hi Holly. Yes, they start out so tiny. When I had my spiny flower mantises, they looked like ants when I first got them. They were literally the size, they were black and teeny tiny, and you have to feed them flightless fruit flies so that they can actually eat it. But they start out so little, and it's amazing how big some of them get. They can really get fairly decent size.
AJ, yes. If you will email me, I will get right back to you, I promise. Unless it holds my email till in the morning, but no later than tomorrow. So please send me an email again. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I was going to ask you, so when they reproduce, I've always thought it was those things like a snuff box kind of looking thing in the woods that were mantis. Is that what that is? They used to call it a devil's snuff box.
I don't know what a snuff box is.
They look like kind of like a mushroom, but they're more rounded. And the old people always told us that's what praying mantises had their babies in, that they would come out of that when they hatched.
So it's, I think, yes, without knowing what exactly it is, but it's normally a very round, spongy feeling egg case. It's called an ooth, and it has hundreds of little eggs on the inside. And normally, like with native species up here in New York where it gets cold, they'll overwinter. And then when the spring comes, they hatch. And a lot of the times people bring them inside on their Christmas trees, actually. And they'll bring their Christmas tree inside, and then all of a sudden they get another Christmas present, and they get hundreds of baby Chinese mantises typically, or Carolina mantises sometimes, all over the house.
Because it's warmed up.
I would enjoy, but some people wouldn't.
No.
John McKenzie, I do have some isopods at home. I am currently trying to breed zebra isopods, which are a larger species, and they're black and white striped like zebras. And I have Cubaris marina currently in my tarantula terrarium, and they're breeding and doing pretty good.
Now, is that something you're going to be selling? Is like the isopods? I know Q got some. I think she mail ordered hers from somewhere, and I've been trying to do a natural. I guess not biotope, but anyway,
a bioactive.
Bioactive, yeah.
Yeah,
See, I told you you'd be helping me a lot with my memory. Bioactive for my blue tongue skink.
Yeah.
And all I put in there so far are a few things that I found before it got so cold.
Mm.
They all went underground, just moving pots, on the deck and stuff. You can find that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think anything's taken hold. I'm not seeing anything in there.
Yeah. I would like to eventually, if I can get these guys producing enough that I would feel comfortable, and I would have to, obviously educate myself with shipping safely. Most of them tolerate a decent variety of temperatures, but you need to keep them humid and all that. And the species I keep are tropical, so you would have to be a little bit careful with that. But I would love to do that someday because they are so easy to breed and they're so much fun. They're super easy to feed. Very, very cool little, if you wanted a little project, you wanted to teach your kids something, that sort of thing, you keep a plastic shoebox, fill it with substrate, you feed them leftover fish food and eggshells and that sort of thing, and some of them really take off like crazy, and there's all different colors and sizes and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I'll have to look into, because I would love to be able to do that and definitely send you some.
Awesome. AJ Kelly, yes, the same email address, same one. And I did read yours, Nevaeh, so I'll get back with you too. I'm terrible about email. That's all we used to ever do, but now that I have all these other options,
all the other things take over.
I can't keep up exactly, just like everybody else. So. Hey, Sean, welcome. Welcome. All right, so creepy critters, crawlies. We talked a little bit too about how the current pandemic, the COVID virus, has affected the hobby and adopting and purchasing pets and all that. And I think that's something you wanted to talk about too, to touch on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've obviously am working in retail, and I've been doing my job for 5 years, and I have never seen it so insane as it was when, I live in New York. I'm not downstate in the city where it was really bad, but it did get pretty bad there, and people were picking up on hobbies like crazy. The fish tanks were all sold out. We actually had a glass aquarium shortage for a while there, and we're still trying to get over that. I mean, everything. We were out of everything, and we couldn't get anything because breeders stopped breeding. We get our birds sometimes from a very sweet lady, and she just hunkered down, and obviously it makes sense with everything going on, and she just didn't think anybody would be needing anything right now, so she had slowed down and stopped, and that was that. So luckily we were able to keep pointing people into the direction, which I try to do whenever possible towards rescues. We have a nice list of local rescues that we try and pass people off to. I would always prefer people adopt rather than purchase animals from a retail store, in my opinion, especially with birds and that. So. And
Cassie does more than her fair share of rescuing animals as well. So.
But it was very stressful because people were coming in expecting all this stuff that we normally have, and I don't know if it was the same way in Tennessee, but crickets were a nightmare to get. We had to put a 2 dozen hold, or a 2 dozen limit on our crickets. People couldn't get more than 2 dozen at a time, and we have people with reptile rooms, and nobody could get anything, and not to mention roaches and superworms and all that, because it was just horrible. And obviously with shipping delays and stuff like that, you couldn't overnight live feeder insects, so it was really rough going there for a while. and I'm sure that you've seen. Did you see adoption uptake when everything was?
We did. So what we had to do, though, because we're such a small place at the Ark, is really hunker down and use a lot of the sanitation, do the mask, schedule appointments, which actually works a lot better for us. Instead of having 4 families come to the door at once, we have our one appointment and we restrict it to 2 people. You know, if it's they have 4 kids and they can only bring 1 kid, you know, with one parent. So they can get a second or third appointment. But yeah, so we're thinking about continuing, you know, when restrictions lift, the appointment thing. But yeah, we've had as many or more adoptions that hadn't affected us. We've had a couple of volunteers that have not had the virus, but they've had, like a parent did and somebody else they work with at their real job. We're all volunteers, so
Yeah.
it's affected us that way. And not me, but other people had to do extra time and extra shifts. And but we've stayed open every day, you know, that we're supposed to so far. So.
Yeah.
What about, you said that about crickets, and I have heard that. I've seen that in the chatter, in chats, and I also heard that locally. And when I was at Petco recently to get adult mice for the snake, for Sandy, he has worked his way up quickly to that, and he likes one every 2 to 3 days. And he's been asking. I say asking. When I go by, he lets me know. Hey,
He begs.
Hey, yeah, exactly. He's people that don't have snakes don't understand that. But yeah, he's like, hey, you got hey, and
They
I go
let
back
you.
to that.
They let you know when they're ready.
Yes, he lets me know, and he just ate Thursday night, and so this morning he started again. But I tried getting him; they were out, so I tried getting him small rats, and I think they were a little big, but he was like, "That stinks, get that out." You could tell he didn't like the smell.
Yeah, a lot of the time they won't switch. Some of them anyway, especially ball pythons, are so picky. Some of my customers. Unsolicited advice, I'm sorry, but some of my customers suggest putting the rat in a bag with the mice, and then, or I don't know if, do you do live or frozen?
Oh, frozen.
Okay. Yeah, they put the rat in the bag with a bunch of mice, and then it's sort of, I don't know, gets the scent on them, and they've had success with that. So just in case.
Yeah. There's Pam. Pam, we were talking about you earlier when we were catching up on some people. And we talked a little bit about Buddy and so forth. So Cassie remembers you well. They could do a catch your own cricket sale. Yeah, some of the big stores, if you could catch 10 of them, or do it like on the black market, go around and catch them and then stand out front. Yeah.
Right? You got your coat on.
Yeah.
They eat one of some crickets.
Pick your bottle of crickets. So that's the only thing. I don't buy crickets. I never tried bugs with the skink or the snake wouldn't take them, of course, anyway. But that's the only thing, and that's recent. So I did waste one rat. They came in a pack of 2, but I didn't take the other one back because it's frozen, and I figure, hey, in 2 or 3 or 4 months it'll be ready for that. But I did have to go back several times between our Petco and PetSmart, and so I bought up some. And of course, it's just like buying all the toilet paper. But hey, my snake's got to eat, and if yours can eat, fine. But my snake's got to eat.
Right.
So I've got him enough to last him, you know, every 3 days for 2 or 3 weeks now, about 3 weeks. So got to feed your kids.
Right, and it was with everything. I mean, yeah, same with mice, live and frozen, and all the insects and stuff. And people were like, "Well, what do I do?" And it was just.
I guess people that breed their own rodents are lucky in that sense, you know, that they can kind of manage it.
And I try and, again, with rescues, I also try and pass to small businesses. We've got a few rodent breeders around us, so I was able to, you know, at least try and pass people to them and try and get them some support while all this is going on. I mean, Lord knows small businesses could use it when, you know.
Sure. Well, we've got 54 people here.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Hi, everybody.
And we still got 20 minutes to go. Will we make it?
Oh,
Will
God.
we make it? All right, what else? So that was kind of the COVID thing. But the last thing I had written down here was that we were going to talk about your pets, and we did some, but you really didn't talk much about the rabbits and the ferrets and their care. I think a lot of people, including me, have misconceptions about them and that they all bite and that they're nasty and all that. And my only experience with those two pets is that somebody gave my mother a little rabbit when we were in elementary school, and we would let it out in the morning after she went to work before we were going to catch the bus for school and let it hop around. But we didn't think about the little poop trails that it would leave, so we got
Cocoa Puff.
busted. But I don't think she knew how to take care of it. And of course, we didn't. And ferrets, a lot of people, I'm one of them, are a little bit afraid of them because I've heard people say that they bite them. And so, could you clear that up?
Definitely. So ferrets, they do definitely have a bad rap, I guess. There were a lot of legal, you would need licensure and stuff, and I believe some states still have that because they can carry rabies, potentially if they were to get out and get exposed. Same with a cat or a dog. So ideally, you need to get them vaccinated, and in some areas it is required. I've never been bit badly by, especially not an adult ferret. Sometimes the young ones, they come in and they're teething, and they don't know what's going on, and they can latch pretty hard. But I've only ever had it broke skin a couple times. Really, they're just big noodles. People call them cat snakes, and they always make me laugh. It doesn't matter what kind of day I'm having. Letting them out and just letting them run around, and they do their war dances, and they just are so happy all the time. They are definitely a lot of work. They're very intelligent. Their diet ideally is consistent of fresh meat, and eggs and that sort of thing. It's 100% protein, ideally. They're very smart, like I said. So mine are trained. They will go in their cage, and I have a very tall cage that they live in until I'm home, and then they're out and about and running around and causing trouble everywhere. They go up and down the stairs, and they play with the dogs and the cats and stuff like that.
Oh, the videos are so much fun to watch.
With supervision, obviously, you got to be careful. They're small, but they truly are just amazing, weird animals, and I can't imagine not having them now that I've had them. They're so much fun. And then with my rabbits are they're house rabbits. Rabbits should live indoors. Mine live up in my room, and they free roam. They're litter box trained as well, so they go in when they have to pee, or the poops get everywhere. It's kind of just part of it. I'm always sweeping up Cocoa Puffs and hay somewhere. So
you can't 100% housebreak them, or yours are just not?
So typically when rabbits are running around, the poop kind of just happens. It kind of just, their digestive system should always be moving at all times. And if it's not, there's an issue. So they're typically always pooping at some point or another. So it kind of just happens. They would spend all day in the box if, they weren't, if they were to just go in the litter box. But the pee goes in the box. They're so smart. They know when they get their treats, just like a cat or a dog does. They beg in the morning. They do communicate, by thumping their feet. And if I'm late getting up in the morning, boy, they let me know. They wake me right up. They definitely know their schedules very well.
Wow.
but they're so smart, really. They can be trained to do tricks and stuff like that. This is my one girl. Hopefully I don't just give you all motion sickness. I'm sorry. This is Mama. And this is Bane.
Aww.
What? What's she doing? Now Bane is going on 9 years old. Rabbits live a very long time. Some can push 14 if you're really, really lucky. But they should have vet care and stuff like that. The males should be neutered, the females should be spayed and all that. So they are a little complicated, but more than what people would generally assume. But they're amazing. They really are.
What are you guys saying in the stream that's expensive? They're expensive though. The Easter Bunny, yeah, that would be expensive. I don't know what they're talking about. It must be further up than I can scroll.
It might be ferrets. Ferrets are fairly expensive.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're, at least in my state, they're 200 now.
Oh, skunks.
A piece.
Skunks.
Oh,
There's so many
skunks.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I wish someday, maybe. I'd have
We had little skunks when on the farm at my grandmother's, and they like to keep them in the barn. That's but they, like if a skunk was ran over and had kits, I guess they are. People love to have them in their barn, and they would de-stink them or de-whatever them. And
yep.
So I remember them having a litter and letting the kids feed them whatever they were feeding them.
Right. They're in the same family as ferrets, which is pretty interesting. They're in the mustelid family. Same with like otters and fishers and that sort of thing. So they're all very smart, and they do have similar crazy personalities.
So would people want them to keep them in their barn like for rodent control then, if they're related to ferrets?
Skunks, as far as I know, I haven't, done too much with them, but as far as I know, they do scavenge a lot. Okay. And they mostly, dig stuff up. But right. I would assume maybe, but I'm not an expert in that, so don't take my word for it. I'll have to research that. Yeah, I mean, most weasels, the weasel family anyway, stoats and minks and stuff like that are good. They have a very high prey drive, that's for sure.
You've seen the guy maybe that has one or two ferrets, and they get hired to come and, like if somebody has rats, guys, if you have pet rats, guys, close your ears, cover your ears, but to clean them out. And I mean, they do, but not for food. They find them and kill them, and yeah, it just takes a while, a few hours, like for them to kill a bunch of rats.
They are I mean, a lot of people have issues, especially around here. I live in rural New York near the Finger Lakes, and a lot of people have issues with mink getting into their chicken coops, and they'll just annihilate everything. Yeah. Which is amazing, but also horrible. I've never had an issue, knock on wood, but it does happen a lot.
Yeah. I saw the video you posted of your chicken that went out.
Pearl?
Pearl. She was sitting out in the snow or the rain or both, and you finally had to go out and get her. She sat out there all afternoon. It got dark.
Pearl was raised by me. At my store, which it's not my choice, we get chickens every spring. We get the chicks, and this one she came in such bad shape. So I took her home and I got her settled and everything. And my coworker actually used to have a house chicken, and I was worried about putting her with the rest of my girls because they're vicious. So she took her home, and she lived in her house for like a year. And then finally she was like, yeah, I can't do this. And I was like, well, yeah, it's probably because chickens shouldn't really be living in your house all the time. But yeah, so Pearl was raised indoors mostly. And she's still not 100% used to the snow. She's done great with my girls, though. She's fantastic with them. But she's still got a little bit of spoiled in her.
Somebody's saying, what is that? Danish minks got COVID, so they had to kill them all.
Yes, fur farmed minks. Ferrets are very, very prone to the COVID virus. So at work, we put up a gate around ours, and we wash our hands. We make sure that we're sanitary before we go in and take care of them and stuff like that. We always have our masks on anyway, but we're very vigilant about it around the ferrets. But they are very, very prone to getting, regular human colds even. So you got to be very careful. But yeah, in fur farmed minks, I believe in Italy, they needed to be put down because they got it very badly. Hi, puppy.
I remember my grandparents and all the old people, the great aunts and uncles, having chickens and used to love to go collect the eggs, of course. But they were always like even digging down a trench to put metal or tin or something in the ground. They always said to keep weasels out from, but I wonder if it was something else digging under there.
Yeah, fox will do it too. Sometimes foxes will dig pretty deep. But yeah, minks and other weasels typically will dig pretty far, and they're very, very slinky, so they can get into a lot of stuff. So you got to be very predator proof when it comes to chicken coops.
See what I highlighted on the screen there? Let me go back. It jumped. Remember when we were talking about Pam, what I told you about Pam and Cassie? Cassie, Pam sent you a heart. Is
that your girlfriend?
It is his girlfriend. He loves Pam. I don't know why. I don't mean that as an insult, but he doesn't like anybody else but me. He doesn't even like my family. He doesn't like anybody but
Pam's special.
I guess. Is that Anthony there? Yeah. Hey, Anthony. Crystal. Cassie's Critters on Etsy. Awesome. I'm going to be using that and going back because I definitely need some bird stuff. And I can't believe I looked at that and it didn't click with me. But it doesn't surprise me. What does that say about... Nope. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm passing a meat farm jogging on the countryside. Huh.
How's Coco doing?
Coco, you know Coco?
Yeah.
Coco got adopted 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, oh my God, yes, it was like the death of a family member.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We knew she had to go, and the week before when we started taking appointments for her, I go on Saturday nights because all the people that have lives with real people, I want them to be off Saturday night. But anyway, I was holding her like this, and she loves everybody, but of course she and I had a special bond. And I talked to her, and I actually sat there and cried, old fool. I'm 65, and she's 5, and I said, I can't, I just can't, get you because you would probably outlive me, and that I would just worry about it constantly. Yazzie's 7 or 8 now, and I wasn't thinking about that when I had to take him a few years ago. So Yazzie will be my old man dog, but it's that's sad, but you can't do everything you want to do.
Right, you can't bring them all home.
And you can't bring them all home, exactly. Well, I'm down to 4 dogs, so after having 6, it seems like not a lot. But she's doing great in her new home. They love her to death.
Her puppies are going home too, right?
2 of them have been adopted, and we decided to hold on to the other 2 and reevaluate it next week because they aren't quite as socialized. But of course, they're coming around with the big boy and the big girl gone, so we're going to hold on to them. But yeah, it's rough to let them go. And there was another one, Birdie. Did you ever see Birdie?
I think
She's
recently I did.
Yeah, she's black and white, and
Yeah.
just black and white, not a tricolor. About his size, maybe a little bigger. And oh my God, she was just. But she's 2 years old.
Yeah.
And the staff that was off the day she was going to be picked up to be adopted came in to visit her. But I waited till she was gone to go by that day because I just couldn't handle that. So yeah, it's hard. Coco's doing great. It's a long answer, wasn't it? Never ask rescuers.
I wanted to hear. I wanted
Yeah.
to hear everything.
You understand though. Never ask rescuers about how their pets are doing and all that.
Sorry.
Oh, Lily. No, I'm just saying unless you want a long story because
Oh,
I'm going to give it to you. Lily Beaumont, I've meant to shout her out a couple of times during the stream.
Hi, Lily.
And she lives in Florida. She's retired, and she started keeping fish not a long time ago, but I'm afraid I got her hooked on rainbow fish because she was looking something other than her guppies, and I had just gotten into them a couple of years ago. So we've been buddies on YouTube for quite a while. I even sent her some plants one time, and I still see the plants, and she's up to several tanks now and considering others, so she's definitely a Fish Fam member.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys, if you just want some laid-back, short, looking at fish videos, Lily's your lady there, and she's got the coolest British accent too. So.
I love her voice.
Yeah. Oh, you know Lily. Okay.
Yes, I used to watch her videos all the time before I started stepping back. And I love listening to her. Sorry if that's weird, Lily, but it relaxes me.
Yeah, she's one of those people that you'd love to read a book to you or.
Oh yes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You could read the phone book, and I'd be like, oh yeah.
Maria wants to come back as one of my dogs. Well, you'd have to be a boy because I just have these old nasty boys now, 4 of them. Yeah, you have to be old too. There is actually a dog at the Ark that I'm probably going to end up getting. He's got a lot of back issues, and I still have Toby's wheelchair, which was a little big for him, and this dog's a little bigger than Toby was. So Chaco is his name. So I'll probably be getting him at some point, but I just want to be sure that he's not adoptable before I do.
Yeah.
So, but he's only 8, and he's a lot of work. But you know, I just want to be sure I can take good care of him before I do. She said, "Hi, honey. Long time no see." I think she's talking to you because I just said hello on one of her videos. Oh, the plants are doing really well. Yeah, I see them all the time. It was hygrophila. That's what I sent her. Exception. What are they doing?
She's laying.
Got her legs stretched out.
Yep.
She knows how to lay. How to relax.
That's what they do when they relax, they just kind of flop.
Get the legs out from under them.
They do the sploot, is what it's called.
Uh-oh. She said she might have to do some of her supernatural tales again. Well, Lily, that's timely because Big Tank Hank that was in here just a little bit ago is starting a second channel where he's going to talk about things like that. And Pam, both Sean and I sicked him on you too the other day and told him that you had some tales to tell. Thank you, Bobby, and I'm hoping to see you tomorrow to pick up some fish from you. Does that mean our time is up? When they're saying great stream, there's still 46. Yeah, it looks like we got about a minute. Well, Cassie, again, I really appreciate you coming on. And
of course.
It went a lot better than I thought it might because I thought I wouldn't.
You didn't have any confidence in me? Come on.
No, I had confidence in you. I started to say because I thought I might wimp out on the questions because I showed you that's all I wrote down. It's just like 5 things. So.
I didn't give you a lot.
Well, we did great though. I almost feel like we could do a part 2 at some point and focus more on the creepy crawly stuff.
Maybe I could do it at work or something and show you guys some cooler stuff.
That would be cool. Yeah. But
I'm down for that.
That sounds like a Wednesday at 6 thing, maybe. If you go.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because I'm here. I work late, so I'm here.
Are you in Eastern Standard Time?
Yes. Yep.
There we go. So, guys, you heard her. She'll do a Wednesday with the part 2.
As long as you guys want me to.
Oh, I think they
And
do.
Bob will host.
Look at all the likes on there. So I think they do. All right. Anything, last thing you want to say? Or
Thank you for having me, Bob. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Letting me
thank you.
rant and ramble.
No, I never dreamed that you would do it, but you surely did and did an awesome job. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank you to the mods.
Yes, thank
appreciate
you,
it.
mods. And thank you, everybody that
And
listened
everybody,
to us
yep.
ramble. Yep. Did we have any super chats? I don't remember seeing a super chat.
I totally forgot to look at the chat for a while, so
Well,
sorry, guys.
Maria said, thanks for a great stream, Bob, Cassie, mods, chatters, and lurkers. So we did. You guys, you know, I give my any money that I get on the channel goes to the art. So, all right. People are starting to come on for the next streams. I see getting notifications. So thank you again, Cassie. Cassie, I want to say Casey because I volunteer with the Casey.
It's fine.
And,
I'll respond to either one.
people start calling me Boob. I don't know about that instead of Bob. But all right,
Well,
guys.
now we're going to have to start doing that.
No. People do that. They think it's funny. No. All right. We got a super sticker. Look at that. Hepplin Creek Aquatics. 99-cent super. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I love you all. And I'll have to stay back behind and hang out with Cassie for a couple minutes so she can reprimand me. And I'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.